This is why Elon Musk is doing everything to get Trump to sanction South Africa. You gotta watch this video. My whole life, I've always preferred people that speak out when they're angry. People that express themselves like, hey, I don't appreciate you doing A, B, C, D. I like those people better than the people that say, oh, no, it's okay. Oh, don't worry. I'd rather see you get angry, shout. Not shout at me, shout at the wind. But speak out, express yourself better than people that say, no, it's okay, it's not a big deal. Because you don't know. It is a big deal, trust me. Sometimes you do something small to somebody and you think it's over. No, it's not over, okay? I prefer people that are open, I'd rather have somebody that can sit me down and express themselves than people that just act like it's not a big deal because they get back to you. So don't be thinking that people forgot. Those small things, small embarrassment of the past, they'll make you pay many, many years later. What's up, everybody? I hope you're doing good. It's a beautiful day. Thank you very much for stopping by. You are appreciated. Okay, I don't know who you are. You don't know who I am. My name is Zack. Thank you very much for stopping by. If you want to know about Africa, you are at the right place. You want news about South Africa, Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, Zimbabwe, Namibia, Malawi, Ghana, Nigeria, Gambia, Botswana, Somalia, Ethiopia, DRC, Congo, Brazzaville, and whatever else, you are at the right place. We're going to put it on to you. Okay, so Elon Musk and South African President Cyril Ramaphosa had a phone call. Okay, very interesting phone call. Why? Because, lately, something happened where Donald Trump said that South Africa was doing bad things to white people. He didn't say white people. He said South Africa is doing bad things to some people.
The terrible things are happening in South Africa. The leadership is doing some terrible things, horrible things. So that's under investigation right now. We'll make a determination. And until such time as we find out what South Africa is doing, they're taking away land, they're confiscating land. And actually, they're doing things that are perhaps far worse than...
So he was literally accusing South Africa of mistreating white people. Why? Because South Africa was trying to take some of the lands back from white people. Why was South Africa trying to take the land back? Because 70% of arable lands in South Africa are owned by white people. Now, white people represent less than 10% of the population of South Africa. In other words, black people of South Africa have no land. So how did the white get the lands? It was in 1913. The Native Land Act in 1930 that prohibited black people from buying any land, therefore enabling white people to buy all the land. Meaning you're black, okay, you got land, we're going to take it. It's not for you anymore. Sorry, shut up, we're going to beat you up, we're going to put something behind you. Don't do that. They took the land by force. Black people remain landless. So in other words, all the black people that had some land had to give it up and start living by the white farms. That's how it was. So fast forward 1948, the apartheid regime where they separated blacks from whites. They couldn't talk to each other very much. They couldn't marry one another. They couldn't stay in the same areas. Black people in the stinking area of town while white people live in the nice places. 1994, Nelson Mandela comes out of jail. And it's democracy. They go through elections and black people win the election because they are the majority of the people, obviously. But meanwhile, that Native Land Act still applies because, white people have 70% of the land and you have nothing. Now, listen here, brother. Land is everything. Land is power. You have no land, you're nobody. You can't say I belong here if you have no land. Yeah, land is gold, land is diamond, land is platinum, land is agriculture. Now that you understand. Now, the reason why Trump spoke out is because Elon Musk says something in his ear, like, hey, look at what's happening in South Africa. Apparently, the black people are trying to take the land from the white people, and you shouldn't accept that. You should stop that. Now, because Donald Trump is a very good of Elon Musk right now, they have this bromance going on. Donald Trump decided to say, hey, South Africa, you're doing bad things in South Africa. You are mistreating some people. He didn't say white people, but we already know what it is. Now, because of that, President Cyril Ramaphosa on Twitter said, we are not taking land from white people. We just reformed the law. The new law says if there is land that is free, that nobody's using, even if it belongs to a white person, if you have not commercialized the land, you have not developed the land, and you don't intend to develop it in the future, we can take that land back and use it for public interest, meaning we can take the land from you and make an hospital, for instance. You've got the land since 1930. You're not doing anything with it. The land is sitting right there, it's just open. You've done nothing with the land, and you don't intend to do anything with the land. We need the land to build an hospital or school or whatever. Are we going to leave you the land because your great-great-father let you the land? That was the idea. Now, clearly, Elon Musk didn't like that. And he spoke to his friend Donald Trump. And Trump said, we're going to cut aid from South Africa because they're taking land from people. So the South African president apparently went through Elon Musk's father to discuss with him. Why did he do that? Because Elon Musk is originally from South Africa. His father is South African and his mother is Canadian. He was born in South Africa and left South Africa at puberty. And after that, they had a call where they needed to clarify things.
Last night I got a call from the PA of Mr. Ramaphosa asking me if I can speak to Mr. Ramaphosa. So without divulging things, I was asked if I can arrange a quick talk between Ramaphosa and Elon. So I did. And then they spoke a few minutes later.
The South African leader called Elon Musk over the distortion after Donald Trump presidency, says the two spoke after US president said he would suspend aid to South Africa over the land reform policy. South African Cyril Ramaphosa spoke to Elon Musk regarding misinformation about South Africa after US President Donald Trump said he would suspend aid to the country over the land policy. So is this really about the aid? We know South Africa received some aid coming from the United States. Is this a strategy to calm things down? So South Africa and US right now are not very good friends. There's many reasons because South Africa supports Russia. South Africa seems to be too free. They have their own policies. And Marco Rubio, US Secretary of State, says he's not going to attend the G20 that's going to take place in South Africa. For the very first time, it's going to be organized in South Africa. He decided, no, I'm not going. And also, let me remind you here that Cyril Ramaphosa says South Africa will not be intimidated.
We will not be deterred. We are, as South Africans, a resilient people, and we will not be bullied.
Now, the question you're asking yourself is, why is Elon Musk doing this? He's supposed to be South African. I mean, a lot of people expected things to be nice with South Africa since Elon Musk, being a very good friend with Donald Trump, representing South Africa in some ways. Like, why is Elon Musk doing this? Well, many people believe there are reasons. Let me just go back to the past. I mean, sometimes, brothers, you need to go to the past to unveil the future, okay? When you see things are not working well with somebody, maybe you need to look into the past. What has occurred in the past? Elon Musk came to South Africa trying to install Starlink. Starlink is a company of internet connection using satellite, which is deployed in many places in the world, including many countries in Africa, Zambia, Zimbabwe, and Kenya, I believe. Elon Musk wanted to bring Starlink in the South African market, but it's been very, very difficult. Why? Starlink rollout in South Africa has faced significant hurdles, primarily due to regulatory issues. The Independent Communication Authority of South Africa requires that major players, including multinationals, allocate at least 30% equity to black ownership. You hear that? Yeah. So in South Africa, if you have a big company, you gotta have 30% equity for black ownership. Well, Starlink doesn't have that. Starlink has yet to meet the requirements, and there seems to be reluctance from Elon Musk to fulfill this condition. If you want to work in South Africa, you need to make sure black people are empowered. That's how they say. There are concerns about Starlink's potential to undermine South African national security. As a privately owned foreign technology, it could be used to control, manipulate, and exploit South Africa's digital infrastructure. So you see, South Africa is looking after itself. Allowing Starlink to circumvent broad-based black economical empowerment regulation will undermine the transformative goals of BEE and set a dangerous precedent for other sectors. Okay, fellas, so you can understand. It's getting very dark here, but let me try and make it nice for you because I like you. South Africa has rules. If you are a big company, you need 30% equity ownership to black people. That's what it is, okay? Well, Musk doesn't want to give 30% to black ownership. And number two, national security concern. Well, it's clear that Musk is now more American now than he is South African. Okay, so his allegiance is most likely more with America than South Africa. So if you give him an infrastructure as big as that, he's got so much access to everybody's data. That's dangerous for South Africa. America will never allow that. America kicked out Huawei because of that. Number three, South Africa has a program called BEE, Black Economic Empowerment. The goal of this is to help black people have more options. BEE was created to help black people have more opportunities to make money, to be leaders, to be managers, to own companies. So you need to have a certain quota of black people operating at every level of the company, whether it's the gardener. Also, you need a manager. You also need a, super manager in every company. Well, clearly Musk didn't want to do that. That's why Starlink has struggled in South Africa. Now, could this be the reason why Musk is trying to get back to South Africa? Because, you clearly have racist policy. Remember what Musk said on Twitter? After Cyril Ramaphosa tweeted to say that South Africa is not taking land from white people, he said, well, you clearly have racist regulations. Now, do you think that could be the reason? So clearly, Elon Musk is trying to make the black government in South Africa pay. Because, my company, Starlink, that everybody loves, you don't want it because there's no enough space for black people. And again, I'm saying, why you have clearly racist laws in your country? That's a big question. Let me know how you feel about this. South African president says South Africa will not be intimidated by anybody. And then I'm asking myself, why did he call Musk then? Why don't you just stand ground? Or maybe he's just being political and strategist. Let me know how you feel about this. It's always a great pleasure. God bless.